Hello out there again. This is the Monkey Man coming back with another review of another beast phone, and this is coming called the Vega Racer 2. Now, as you know, there's a lot of hype going around surrounding around the HTC One series, and also Samsung Galaxy S3, of course, and also from yours truly. I am totally waiting for the phone, but this is the another super phone that comes out, and it is made by Sky, which, as you guys known before since I've introduced you, is a smaller company I should say, that makes smartphones. So this is their new flagship phone. This is called the Vega Racer 2. The original Vega Racer sold pretty well, but I think like 1.8 million units were sold. So this is their thing. Now this is the Vega Racer 2, so let's take a quick look at it. This is not a quad-core phone. This is running the new Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 chip in a dual-core, clocked in at 1.5 gigahertz, and it's a really nice phone. The screen is 4.8 inches diagonally across. I've come to find out that the screen technology used on this is the LG's technology, which is the IPS display. So it's pretty bright, not AMOLED, and not a super LCD screen. So the measurements on this phone is actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's 9.5 millimeters thick, and of course it's running Android 4.03, not 4.04, not the latest Android, but 4.03 with their custom interface on. So actually, let's look at the box. I wanted to show you something. Actually, I already pulled it out. This is the battery charging station. Pretty cool looking. There's a huge red light and green light, and there's the extra battery. Let's look at the box in here really quick. I want to show you also another accessory that they put in. I like this. This is pretty cool. It's pretty cheap. You know, it's just a little plastic thing, but this is your little protective case to carry your battery in. Kind of reminiscent, I don't know if you guys are old enough watching out there, but kind of reminiscent of the original Game Boy protective cartridges that they had for the game cartridges. So a little bit of nostalgia kick when I saw this thing. I thought it was a Game Boy thing. It was really cool. And of course it has the regular stuff, you know, the owner's manual, charging port, micro USB charging, and headphones and stuff. So you know, basic fare, but I thought I would show you this because this is pretty cool. Anyways, like I said, the battery, this is the charging. That's the battery. The battery is 2020 milliamp battery. I'm sorry. And so let's get into this phone. So like I said before, this phone is running on Android Ice Cream Sandwich 4.03, which is not the latest version. I think there's a version 4.04 already out. Sky is actually pretty good with the upgrades and OTAs and stuff like that. So let's turn this bad boy on. Now, the screen is really nice. Everything is super clear. The resolution is 1280 by 720. So 1280 by 720. So as you know, the screen is pretty clear, and it looks great. I must say that coming from Super AMOLED technology, I do notice that the colors aren't as vibrant as I would say, you know, on a Super AMOLED. But it's also it's still a great screen. It's much clearer than I would say the Galaxy Note. And I must say that you know, of course, I'm gonna get a phone with a quad core. You know, probably the Samsung Galaxy. Hopefully, they launch it in Korea with the quad core Exynos chip. I'm really want to get my hands on that. But I must say that I don't know how they're gonna make it smoother than this. Really, honestly, this Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 chip in it is amazing. It just flies around. There's no lag. It's stupendously great. Also a couple more specs. This comes with a 16 gigabyte version. I heard that it's going to be 32 gigabytes. Only right now white is available. Black should be available maybe in the upcoming couple of weeks, and I think maybe the black will have the option of 32 gigabytes internal memory. But also It has a micro SD card slot, so which supports up to 32 gigabyte memory chip. So that's good about there. Let's go look at this phone before I actually get into it. So like I said, this is an IPS screen. Same thing I heard as the what Optimus with the LG company is using, the IPS technology on the screen. Don't know much about it. So if you look at the phone, 4.8 inches. There's no buttons. This is as I said, the Android is actually on the screen. It's kind of like the Google Nexus phone. There's no buttons. There's a front-facing camera, which is I'm pretty sure it's 2 megapixel, 8 megapixel camera in back with a LED flash. As you look at the top here, you see this metal. This is actually the earpiece speaker when you listen to the phone, and also doubles as the output speaker. There's no other speaker. There's no speaker in the back. And down here, I thought this was actually another speaker port, because some of the Sky phones that they came out have dual speakers, like so one here and one top here, but this one actually is a single speaker, which I'm a little disappointed, being a flagship phone, because I thought that was really cool. The speaker here is actually pretty decent, but the placement of the speakers, I must say, is really nice, because like I said, if you're watching a video or you're playing a game, the speaker's in front, so it's not coming from the back. So even though it may not be louder than, say, a Galaxy Note speaker or any other type of smartphone, the placement of the speaker makes it much easier to hear, and it's just better placement. So I don't know why more people don't do that with their phones. It just seems like it makes more sense to me, than rather than have the speaker in the back somewhere, and the speaker, so it's like. But like I said, one thing special about this phone is, just like the back of this thing is plastic, but it's coated with a ceramic coating. Oh, excuse me, my tongue is very early in the morning for me. It's coated with a ceramic coating. So even though it's plastic, it gives it a weird, strange feel to it. It's really nice, actually. It's not slippery, but it kind of gives you a little grip. It's almost like, I don't know how to explain it, but it actually feels really nice. It's very shiny, but one thing that's actually pretty good about this coating, or whatever it is that they did, it is not a really magnet, for fingerprints and oil. It's really easy, if you do get something on, it's really easy to wipe off, unlike some other types of metal. I'm looking at you, Samsung, with your Samsung series book Senses, the fingerprint magnet. So I'm very happy about that. Also, what's included, which is, I thought it was pretty cool, is the film, a protective film that's already included. I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty cool too, I thought. So if we look around the phone, on this side of the phone is, of course, the power button. Same placement, almost as Samsung. On the other side is the volume rocker. If you look down here, there's a little twitch here. Let's see if I can take this out, which is for a DMB antenna, because of course we're in Korea. It pulls out, but I don't want to actually pull the whole damn thing out because I only use one hand. Sorry for the quality of video. I got rid of my Galaxy Tab, so I am using my Galaxy Note as a camera now. Yes, I know I will get a camera soon. Just been spending all my money on different toys. So at the top here, there's a little, I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a little slot hole in here. This is actually for, cell phone rings. Korean people love that. 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and here is, of course, the micro USB, and which is actually pretty cool because they got the little cover that you can, twist off. Although it does look a little flimsy, but I've never had a problem with actually one of those things falling off, so pretty happy. Like I said, there's no buttons to mention of. This is just, all screen in the area. And also another thing, I'm not sure, for actually my constant viewers, I've always said that I like black phones. So this is actually my first white phone I have ever owned. And I must say that, yeah, it's growing on me, definitely growing on me. Still prefer black, but I think this white phone is actually very good looking. Alright, so let's jump into it. In previous iterations, as you can see, the lock screen looks like regular Android gingerbread lock screen, but it also has these different things that which is all customizable. You can put whatever app it is, and it'll come in. Like for instance, I have the browser, I have Google Translate on it. I also have the smart voice, which I'll get into, and of course the camera. So let's jump into this bad boy. Now I must say this phone is the screen is super clear. It's so easy to read text on it, and that's coming from a Galaxy Note, my Galaxy Note with the bigger screen. I just find, like I said before, that the text is much clearer, and it just seems to be easier to see the fine print. I can really see I can't really see the, it's perfect screen. I must say that compared to a AMOLED screen, the colors aren't as bright. It's actually a little bit diluted and dull for the colors, but still a great screen to look at. And I guess it depends on your preference of if you like the AMOLED super saturated colors and so forth. So as I told you before, this is running Android 4.03, and as you see, if we pull down the menu, we can swipe things away. And if you notice on top, there's actually 2 rows of quick menu buttons. This is actually just to turn them on, and there's 10 actually different things you can do with Bluetooth and so forth. And then you have a more detailed setting where you actually goes into the setting to more detailed setting. Like for instance, Wi-Fi, you could pick the different Wi-Fi. And of course, if that's too much space for you, you can just press the close button and it'll collapse that. And of course, it also has the main setting button if you wanted to. So let's get into this phone. So as you notice, this is an ice cream sandwich phone. As you can see, the button is up top. So you have the back, home, and of course the menu key like this. So no recent apps running. And of course you have a little button here that goes into the sub menus and so forth. Now, what I've told you, if you ever seen my video of the Vega LTE phone, what Sky seems to be doing is all about customization. This phone is fully customizable right out the box. You don't need to launch any third-party apps. You could play with this phone just without downloading any customization apps by itself. As you see, I have different apps. These are not Sky apps, Sky widgets. These are APW widgets, and also beautiful widgets and so forth, of course. So like I said, this phone does not lag. It's just an awesome phone. The only time it does lag though is when you pinch the zoom, it goes to helicopter. A little bit of a lag there, but nothing else lags in this one. When you add widgets, it's really simple. Like I said, you just put it there. So I'm going to add a whole bunch of Sky widgets because I just want you to see some of these cooler ones. They're actually very useful. So we're going to go with, let's go with the clock set. As you can see, there's different types of clocks. 5 of them. I'll put this one as actually a really cool looking one. Jump back out there. We're going to do the flashlight. I want to show you the flashlight that they have. Mini camera set is really cool. There's a whole bunch of different mini camera settings. Like for instance, a sampler one, toy cam, miniature cam, and so forth, classic cam. And I'll show you actually. So I'll just put it up there. What else I wanted to show you? Oh, the music player, of course. And let's go with the note player as the third one. There's a whole bunch of other ones, but as I said, this is just a really quick review, trying to quick review. So of course you see the clock, it jumps right into your clock, alarms and so forth. Flashlight is just what it says. It's a flashlight, but it's different settings. So for instance, SOS, strobe, and of course you have your manual where you just press the button and it goes on and on. So pretty neat. And notice how the camera widget does not actually go into an app. It actually works on top of the screen, on top of your home screen. So for instance, when you pull it back out, it goes right back. It goes for all these widgets when you use them. For instance, the music widget. If we play something, and let's pick something here. Alright, let's play, let's play this, actually. So, we'll play a little old school J. But if you're playing this, if you press the button right here where the thing, it's a little sub menu comes up. So you can choose the, song you want that's playing on the list. So, pretty cool. And like I said, it shows up on the thing. It doesn't actually go into the app. Same thing with the note. You press the button, the note thing pops up. You can write on it. You can do whatever. And it goes. Camera is same thing. Camera pops up. There's a screen. You take a picture, and it turns it into whatever type of screen, whatever type of camera you use, and bam, it's just like that. So those are some of the widgets that I found very useful. There's a whole bunch of other ones for social that makes your social feeds into like a kind of like a magazine type of thing going on. If you look at the dock row, you notice that there's of course 4 and there's 2 arrows, which means you can go to the side and add more. You could put up to 4 icons on each dock, which supports, so in a total of 12 icons. And of course you could put folder. Folder's pretty cool too. What they did is you can change the color and of the folder. I think there's 2, 4, 6, there's 7 different colors you can change. Of course, write the name. Adding apps is simple also. Let's cancel that. Adding apps is also simple too. You see this little plus button. You press this plus button, and you can a list of apps shows. Although you can't add a whole bunch of apps at the same time, like with some third-party launchers, it's still a pretty nifty way to go. What else is there? So as you can see, browser and so forth like that. I must say, I don't know how quad core is going to beat this. This Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 is for daily usage. This is awesome. When you jump into the menu, it's instantaneous. Transition is super smooth. Even coming from my Galaxy Note, which I thought was really smooth at the time I got it, this one just blows it away. Whatever you're doing, it's just instantaneous response. Whether you're pulling it down, you're pulling it up, you're jumping in and out of apps. Even with live wallpaper on, which even with my Galaxy Note, if I have live wallpaper on, I could see it kind of stutters sometimes, especially if I have a lot of widgets. But even with a lot of widgets on and a live wallpaper on, there is no stutter. It is butter smooth. I've never owned an Apple product before, but I played with my friends' iPhones and stuff, and it's on that level. It's that smooth. It just there is no shudder, there is no jag, there's no it's just super smooth. When you jump into the menu, you can tell it's just the animations are great. You see it disappearing, and really they did a really great job. I don't know if it's a chipset, if it's a new chipset, and maybe the quad core will, when I use that, I will say, wow, that's super smooth. But right now, this is the smoothest phone I've ever seen so far. And of course, this is a 4G LTE phone. And one thing I will definitely say about this phone that is a definite plus: the battery of it is pretty big as it is. It's a 2020 mega amp battery. Not only that, but they also say that the Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 SoC system on a chip is very energy efficient, and I will have to say that I think the combination of two gives this phone incredible battery life. I unplugged this phone. I actually tested it the other day. I unplugged this phone around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and heavy day of usage. Went to work. I didn't plug it in at all in my car. I didn't plug it in at work. I used it, watched some videos, played some games, took some pictures, web browsed, customization, live wallpaper, push, 4G, everything. I came home at around maybe 9 o'clock, and the phone was about 60% capacity. So I stayed home and I played with it even more, downloaded a couple of games, switched on to Wi-Fi, watched a couple videos, downloaded a couple of games, played a couple of games, and it did not die until about 12 o'clock, and that's with really heavy usage. I think honestly that once my if for people who use their phone normally, or once the new phone experience wears off and you start using this I could see people actually going a day and a half, maybe even 2 days, depending on use, before charging. The battery is that great. I told you before, mother thing, that my Samsung Galaxy Note, it works great. The battery life on that. This is much better than the Samsung Galaxy Note, probably because of the display size and also the energy efficiency of the Qualcomm Snapdragon S4 chip. So I will definitely give props to Qualcomm Snapdragon for making such an energy efficient chip. Honestly, the days of wondering and carrying an extra battery are over. Really, if the Qualcomm S4 is that energy efficient, and if the other quad core cores claim to be as energy efficient as, it's going to be no problem anymore, honestly. Even with LTE 4G kicking all the time, it's, the battery is just superb. Like I said before, this phone is well, let me get back to, it's gushing. This phone is all about customization. Everything here is almost totally customizable. You can change the different icons, of course, the widgets. You can change the font. Almost everything is customizable, and I will tell you the first best customization is, of course, the lock screen. Like I told you before, this is one of they have actually 4 different lock screens, but this is one of the 4 lock screens, and all these are different. You can link different apps to the front. So for instance, I have the browser, translate, smart voice, and of course the camera in there. So whatever you do, even if you go, let's just say we go into the browser, it jumps right into the browser, and it's just bam, like that. And for instance, let's just close it again. If we jump into, Google Translate, it goes right into the app. It's instantaneous almost. It's like a second wait or something like that. So good. But even that is customizable. There's a whole bunch of other, there's like 4 other lock screens that you can use. As you can see, we're going to go to the display here. We have this hold button, and we have all different types of lock screens. So this is the one I'm using here. Like I said, this is the regular ice cream sandwich, where it just goes unlock and camera. This one is kind of like a HTC Sense type of ripoff. All these are customizable, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different apps can be connected to it, and what it is, you just pull it in. Actually, I'll show you. So you just pull this bad boy in. You can link different ones, but I'm just going to keep it because just to show you. So as you can see, you pull it into the ring and it'll open. And like I said, you can use this for, you can customize these whatever different apps you want, so it's a great way to do it. Let me go back, jump in here. Oops, nope. As you can see, this is ice cream sandwich. So slide to side to get rid of the apps, to close the apps. Bada bing, bada boom. So let's go back to the setting, and let's go to the hold screen. So this is called the modern hold. I guess they didn't get my memo to change this into modern hold. Sky, give me a call. I'll do some proofreading for you guys, man. Just hook me up with your new flagship phones. This one is actually like a writing base, which is pretty cool too. So I will show you actually this. So what this one is that there's a certain gestures you write. So you like, for instance, unlock, call, and so forth, and you can actually program the gestures that you want to use. And so this is actually my favorite because it just looks cool as hell, and I'm digging how everything is set up. So I'm just gonna keep this as my lock screen. So as I said, the lock screen is customizable. As you know, that this is just the regular home launcher, but there's also an additional home launcher that they have, which they like to call simple mode. Now, simple mode is for people who just know nothing about Android and just want to use the phone simply. You press this mode, and it changes the whole phone, and it makes it extremely simple. It's kind of like a Windows-based little bit ripoff. So as you can see, the ice cream sandwich, and it's got the phone, message, menu. It is not customizable. It has a shortcut tile, where you can add shortcuts, direct dial, and so forth, browser, and stuff like that. When you get into the menu, it goes into more sub menus that actually categorizes everything. So for instance, contacts, it categorizes that and so forth like that, messages and so forth. Pretty cool. Not something I would use because obviously I am a nut, and I like changing my phones and having the ability to do that, which this phone actually Vega company is kind of reminding me of the HTC company, where they make they try to come up with new innovations and kind of break the mold, and that's how I feel Vega is the Sky company is going towards. So I applaud them for that. One little niggle is that the camera is slightly upraised, and the lens is literally sitting on the thing. So when you put it on the back, you have to be really careful. You might get it scratched up. Although I haven't had it scratched up. I haven't been using this with the case, and honestly, this coating, the ceramic coating, whatever the hell they did to it, not only repels, but repels fingerprints and smudges very well. It also is very strong. It doesn't scratch easily at all. I don't think I've gotten one scratch on it at all. So let's jump back into this. So more customization. Now, as you see on this top here, this says, I don't know if you can see this, but it says Safe Reader Enabled. Now, this is basically kind of their version of Siri, although not as encompassing. There are basic commands that you can do. Not much different than the Google voice search or Google voice command, although there are some things that are exclusive to this. Like for instance, let's jump into this thing. So it talks to you.
What can I help you with today?
Kind of Siri-like. Now there's a couple of things you can do. You can open any application you have with the voice. So for instance, if you wanted to open, say,
Sorry,
Temple Run.
I don't understand.
Well, I'm not talking to you, bitch.
Do you want me to search the web?
No, cancel. Cancel. You can also wake this up.
Sorry, I don't understand.
All right. Listen. So, if you have it on the screen and you don't want to press the button, all you have to do is this. You just say, "Hi, Vega," and it turns on. So, open Temple Run.
Sorry, I don't understand. Do you want me to search the web?
No. Open Temple Run. And see, it goes right into the application. It works for any application. Like I said, it's sometimes hit or miss. When you do speak, it's not Siri-like where it actually, you can say something. It doesn't have to be exact. You have to be very exact with it, and you have to make sure you know what it is that you're trying to open. You can also send messages, of course. The interface is much better when you send messages. So for instance,
what can I help you with today?
let me see. Right, so you would say something like, text Alex.
Sorry,
So
I don't.
text Alex, message, what's up? What are you doing this weekend? Give me a call.
Okay, here is your message.
And you can cancel
Ready to
or
send it?
so cancel.
All right, I canceled it.
And it works really well for the messaging. You can also look up contacts. You can also link up your Facebook or Twitter account, and post that way. With dictating manually and so forth like that. So pretty cool. Not as, like I said, not as encompassing as Siri. You can't ask it different questions; it won't understand. But nonetheless, a little bit better than the regular Android experience. Android voice activation. So kudos on Sky for giving that. But you have to be careful because it does use cellular connectivity. What I really good here is the Safe Reader enabled. Safe Reader is funny. It's just awesome because when you have it enabled, if you get a message, it will actually read the message to you. So I sent it some strange messages, and it actually it actually reads it out to you. So it's a little funny. I would love to do an example, but right now as I said, I'm using my Galaxy Note, so it's hard for me to do that. So overall, this is just a quick review of this phone. This phone is a beast. It's great to hold. Fits really well in the hand. Even though it's not a quad core, I haven't used the quad core phone yet, and I definitely looking forward to getting the Samsung Galaxy S3 with the quad core Exynos. I don't know about the LTE about that phone, but honestly, this thing is amazing. It's super smooth. It's responsive. Battery life is out of this world. It almost reminds me of the old school feature phones of where you would charge it and would last you a day and a half, 2 days easily, depending on how much you use it. And this is a smartphone, and you could basically, honestly, using you know, on just normal usage, it would last you a day, much, crazy easy. I could even see people stretching this day out to a day and a half. Even with heavy usage, I would definitely say that, it would still be about a good 12 hours before you would be able to kill this battery. Obviously, if you have, everything on and you're playing a very graphic intensive game, it would be faster, but battery life is just stupendous. Galaxy Note is just much better than Galaxy Note, for whatever reason, and of course is running Android Ice Cream Sandwich. So this is a brief look at the Sky Vega Racer 2, the new flagship smartphone from the company Pantech. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be making more videos to go in depth about the different features of this phone. There's a whole bunch of features, dial pad, different modes you can change it on, and the way they set it up is just a fantastic phone. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to get my hand on a Galaxy S3 or an HTC One series, any one of those. I would love to get my hands on one and do a comparison. Probably not the HTC One unless they come out with it in Korea. I'm not sure. HTC is not a very popular brand in Korea, but definitely Samsung Galaxy Note. I will be getting that, and I'm also going to pit this against the Optimus LTE 2, which is coming out soon, which supposedly has 2 gigabytes of RAM and about the same specs as this phone. So I will definitely be trying to get my hands on an LG Optimus 2 and putting it through its paces against this. So stay tuned for more videos where I'll do some benchmark results, show you a little bit more about this phone, and let me know what you guys think, man. Is this phone cool? What do you think about the design? What do you think about the ceramic coating on the back? And give me some ideas on what would you like me to see put this through this phone. Once again, Monkey Magic doing this damn thing for you guys out there. So be cool, have fun, and go chase that banana.